slams into the wall, and then on the wall, there's like a furnace at the bottom. It slams into the furnace, and then there's just like dead silence. So I don't know if that was just someone's child that slammed themselves into the wall, or if it was someone playing fetch with their dog. But yeah. So if there's like random pauses, I apologize. Anyways, we'll get started into the first story that has to do with nails. So basically, I wanted to get my nails done, but it is so expensive to get your nails done. Last time when I got them done in December, I booked online, and it said that the appointment would cost $45, which is why I picked them, because I was like, oh my god, this is like super cheap. So then after I did like finish with my appointment, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be $100. I was like, okay, like I don't care the fact that it's costing $100, but why are you telling me when I book my appointment that it'll cost $45? So anyways, whatever. I had this dip kit from Amazon that I bought like, I don't know, last year or something, and I was gonna do my nails a couple weeks ago in my room, and in my room I set out this ironing board, and I was just gonna kind of make that my little nail station for the time being. And with the dip kit you get 3 liquid things. So the first one, I don't know what the step is called, but like you paint it on your nail, and then you dip your hand or your finger into the powder, and then step 2 is the activator step. Well, for step 2, this bottle reeks, like it stinks so badly of like some strong chemicals. I don't know what it is, like some type of methyl chemical, I don't know. It's really potent. And I guess at some point when I had it on the ironing board, it tipped over and fell, and some of the liquid came out and spilled onto the ironing board. Now the ironing board, it's not like just like a metal thing, like it has like a cotton covering, so the liquid seeped into the cotton covering, and I guess at some point it started evaporating off. So I didn't think anything of it. Mind you, my windows were closed, and I had literally no ventilation in my room whatsoever. First big mistake. Absolute idiot. Anyways, moving forward, I finished my nails, and I was just sitting in my room until I noticed I'm literally laying in my bed and I feel lightheaded, which is weird. So I ended up leaving my room for a little bit, and I was just in the living room for a bit. I went back into my room, and it reeked of the chemical. I guess initially I probably got used to the smell. That's probably why I didn't notice it, but it smelled so freaking bad. So I opened up the windows, turned on my air filter to try and get the smell to leave. So in the meantime, I just went back to the living room to relax and hope that like I start feeling better and I'm not lightheaded. So I'm googling the activator, like the ingredients on the back, and apparently it's like some potent chemical that can cause like lightheadedness, dizziness, nausea, confusion. It can cause you to faint, and I'm like, well, great. I already feel like this. So I started to feel even worse. So that's when I got like a cold cup of water and just waddled myself to the bathroom where I can just sit and hopefully cool down. I don't know why I went to the bathroom. I feel like maybe it was just more ventilated at the time. I don't freaking know, but I was in the bathroom probably for about like nearly passing out. So, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. It doesn't look too bad, but it was a pretty deep cut. And the way that this happened was I was working with this machine where you can cut frozen sections of tissue, and the actual, if you want to think about it, if you ever go to like a deli store or something like that where they cut meat, it's essentially a see.